Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Think About It channel. Today we're doing an episode of the Thinking Corner with Geoffrey Wright, our new favorite author from northern Mexico, as he calls it, aka Texas. I met Geoffrey through a authors Facebook group. He started it. I'm part of it. We're starting a book club up if you're interested in that. He's the author of Prime Numbers, which is on my reading list for 2026. I'm hoping to have him back on and interview him once I get a chance to read it. That'd be phenomenal. I would love that. But today we're talking about what book didn't meet your expectations. So what do you have, sir?
This one was easy when I thought about this. So we're going to go back into the early aughts for this one. There was so much hype around this book and eventually the series, and I kind of watched it for a while. So eventually I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick up the book and I'm going to read it. So I picked up Twilight. And as I
expect you to say Twilight.
Yeah. And as I started reading it, the more I read it and the more I read it, I prayed for Bella's death. I wanted her to die. I'm like, please kill these characters off. What do we have with a sparkling vampire? Why? And I hated every single minute of that book. I finished it just because I had to, and I never read another. The movies came out, and my wife was like, hey, we should watch these. And I said, not a chance. I hated the book, so no way. Twilight was it. It had such huge hype when it first came out. And so
I remember I lived it.
Yeah. Twilight is without a doubt the book that did not meet my expectations.
We have a friend of the channel. Her name is Lily. She's a radio host in like the Altoona, Pennsylvania area. And she was on this segment one time, and we were talking about Twilight, and she's a big Twilight fan. So Lily, if you're watching this right now,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna leave any comments on Twilight. I have not read Twilight, nor have I watched Twilight, which is probably weird considering I'm a millennial and like that was like my heyday. But I didn't, so I'm gonna leave Twilight alone. But we do apologize, Lily, that we've gone. Sorry,
Lily.
We still love you, Lily. You're doing great stuff. We love you, but right now we're bashing Twilight a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually, just as you were talking, I had one pop into my mind that I wasn't gonna talk about, so I'll sort of mention both briefly. I was an honors English student in high school, and I remember like people hyping up a lot of the books you read in high school, right? Oh yeah, this one's bad or this one's great. And I remember hearing a lot of people as an honors English student hyping up Catcher in the Rye. And oh my God, what a boring text that was. And maybe it was just because at like 15, 16, I wasn't quite old enough to get it. But man, like maybe I need to reread it. I don't get it. I thought like we got like a moody guy who smokes too much. And like bad stuff happens to him. Okay, like cool. I'm like, it's 2008. Like that happens to people. People are smoking in the bathroom right now. You're not special. So Catcher in the Rye, I don't get the hype. Didn't get the hype. Animal Farm got the hype. It was wonderful. Gatsby, maybe a little bit overhyped, but good. Lord of the Flies, probably not hyped up enough. Catcher in the Rye, I would rather not catch it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'll leave it in the rye.
I'm with you. I was with you on Catcher in the Rye, and the others you mentioned. Lord of the Flies, great book, loved it. And the funny thing is, the reason I read Lord of the Flies is I had a history teacher who told me that I reminded him of one of the characters in the books, and I found out it was Piggy, and I was very upset.
My ex-girlfriend in high school said the same thing about me while we were dating.
So Lord of the Flies is great. Animal Farm, wonderful. But yeah, Catcher in the Rye, I'm with you on that. I think it's overhyped for nostalgia reasons, and it's considered a classic, but not all classics are going to mean it's great.
Old doesn't always mean better.
No.
But the book I was going to bring up is another of my millennial time. It's called Vanguard by Anne Aguirre. So she's like I believe she's a Mexican author, and she wrote it's called the Razorland trilogy. So it is sort of like a post-apocalyptic survival. We got some war going on. We're trying to end this war situation. And there's three main books, and then the fourth book is called Vanguard, and it's sort of like a continuation from another character's perspective. And the idea behind it was great because one of the main characters is this girl named Tegan, and she has some trauma in her life, physical, mental, emotional trauma. And this fourth book, Vanguard, was supposed to be like her breakout. I am now free. I am discovering myself. I am moving forward with my life. I'm being who I want to be. Um, and now it's been a minute since I read this book. I read this book probably 15 years ago. I'm showing my age again. But I remember it just being a huge disappointment. I, I was not invested in what they were doing. I was not invested in the characters. So this girl Tegan goes on, she joins this boat, like these voyagers, and she's like their nurse or their doctor equivalent. And because she wants to see the world, but she wants to be helpful, which is cool. And one of the main characters from the original series is basically following her because he's got a thing for her. And she like overlooks him and still overlooks him. And then she ends up falling in love with like some dude from another species. And then they have this like what I thought was like a very weird like interspecies relationship. And it just felt like very out of left field to me. Like I don't know. It just felt weird. It didn't feel like. Just felt a little
Interesting.
Yeah, it just didn't feel organic is the word. It didn't feel like organic to me.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you're into that guy, the guy who's like sort of not a guy, you know? Yeah. It was just would not recommend.
Well, it's funny, and you mentioned that. I'll turn the coin a little bit and talk about a book series that is phenomenal to read. And I love telling it to people all the time if they haven't. Most people are at least familiar with the first book, but that's Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game. Most people know Ender's Game because it came out in a movie. You know, if you're not an avid sci-fi reader, Ender's Game then spawned off four or five books after that. Ender's Game is really good. Speaker for the Dead is okay. Xenophobe is okay, and then there's Ender in Exile, which is actually pretty good. But what I recommend is read Ender's Game and then turn around and read Ender's Shadow. Ender's Shadow is Ender's Game told from Bean's perspective.
Okay.
And it's really, really cool to see how things changed because you're now seeing it from a different perspective. Because it's the entire book of Ender's Game, but seen from another character, and it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Very cool. I love when like books can do that successfully.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the idea behind this book was like we're gonna give this character her chance to find herself and heal from her trauma and show this world post their war that's been raging on. And for me, it just didn't hit.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate when I get into any book that people have hyped and I'm just bored. You know, I just I read because I want to be entertained. I want to like the story. I want to like the characters. And I mean, I can even read a story where I don't like the characters, but it's a compelling story because there's lots of stories where you're not meant to like the characters. They're all terrible people. There's TV shows like that. They're all terrible people, but you're meant to like the story. And I like an engaging story. I like when someone can. I like when someone can put pictures in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go back to Stephen King once again. He's my favorite author. He is so good at building a picture in your head. I remember when I first read The Stand, I could see in my head the actors who should be the characters. And then they came out with the ABC TV series. They did pretty good with it. I thought they did pretty good. And they came out with the re-release, and whoever did the re-release needs to be shot. That was terrible. Yes, they need to re-release it again if they want to do that, or go back watch the old ABC one. But I really love when an author can put a picture in your head, and that's what makes it so hard about movies sometimes. Is you have your head movie, and now you've got to watch another person's interpretation of it, and it becomes very difficult.
I
So,
hear that. Yeah. Must have
yeah,
been Stephanie Meyer on that one.
probably.
Sorry, Lily. Sorry. Well, hopefully, we're meeting your expectations on this channel with the content we're putting forth, and hopefully you pick up Prime Numbers by our dear friend Geoffrey Wright, and that meets your expectations, or you pick up one of my novels, starting with Where Dream Fades to Nightmare, and that meets your expectations. Or if you're in the market for a podcast, I heard Nerdery and Murdery is a good one. That should meet some
Absolutely.
expectations.
Come over and listen to us. We're on every major podcast platform.
Hosted by Mr. Geoffrey Wright here himself and his friend Zig.
Yeah.
And we'll put a link to that in the description. And we will see you next time.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.